What's up, everyone, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 28 of Girl You Know What podcast. I am Danielle.
And I'm Keisha.
And,
Hey,
hey, girl. So we took last week off. I was on
we felt like it.
Yeah, we felt like it. Yeah,
Listen,
we just felt like it.
Like it.
Yeah. We ain't even gonna
And we
go
gotta
into
tend
it.
to life.
Yeah, because if not, then you're just gonna really go crazy, and
Yes, and I sent you that message, and I told you, listen, this will be here. We are living our life, and you got to be present in every moment of your life.
Yeah.
You don't owe nobody no explanation.
Right.
Okay.
So let's move on. There we go.
Period.
So
Period,
poo. So we got a lot to cover this episode, but first I want to get some sad news out the way first. So I think it was the day after we recorded last time, Irish from 702 passed away.
Oh,
so
God.
That, and then I had the nerve to watch some of the service yesterday because they laid her to rest yesterday, and I was just like, why'd you do that to yourself? I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched some of it because they live streamed it from the funeral home or the chapel.
That was just bad.
Oh my! I mean, she just and I got
That
so
was
many.
Just sad.
Yeah, I got so many thoughts about what could have happened and what's been revealed.
Well, it's kidney disease. Ain't that what they said?
Yes, kidney disease, and her son said that she died from a seizure. So that's what really took her out.
So
but she
before this, there was a post. Were they touring?
Yeah, they were on tour.
It said that she had to take off because of medical reasons.
Yeah.
She had to put a pause on it because of medical reasons. But remember, her twin sister also died of kidney failure.
Yeah, when we were like 27 or 28.
Yeah. She was 27 when she passed away, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So, they just may have some underlying health issues.
That's what I think, yeah.
And
it just took
it, because it seemed weird that they would both die of kidney failure.
Right.
So there's probably something, going on that, they don't want to disclose. I think we get so used to knowing all their personal business that when they don't tell us something,
you get offended almost.
We number one, we definitely get offended, and number two, it's like, then here come the assumptions.
Right.
She was probably smoking crack.
Yeah, because I saw some of that too. Yeah,
it goes into a place where it's like, where did you come up with that?
Mm-hmm.
Just let the lady die.
Let her.
Please.
Yeah, she's reunited
the better part of her life. Can we give her rest?
Thank you. I mean, she, 702 gave us so much, and she's reunited with her twin.
Can I did to that song?
Girl.
I started to message. I'm gonna still just because we talking about this. I'm gonna message Shay like, girl, how many drive-bys do we do to get it together?
Come on now.
So perfect. Shay, let me say that specifically, became so perfect at rewinding that tape. See, y'all don't know about rewinding.
You don't know about the tapes. Come on now.
It was a skill that you had to have.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't rewind it too far.
Right.
Because now you in the other song.
Yeah.
She could rewind that tape perfectly.
You knew exactly how many seconds.
At the beginning of that song, baby.
Yes.
Woo! Me, her, and that red Camry. We did a lot of.
Child, listen. I mean, it was an anthem, so
listen.
And they had some bangers. I mean, like they had
their whole album, though.
Yeah, you could listen to their albums all the way through.
If you put that 702 No Doubt on from one to the last, that is a good album.
Yes,
that's a good album.
Yeah,
it's only a few out there like that. But that album right there,
listen.
And after that, their albums were not the best, but they still had great songs.
Yeah, they had great songs, and I think like a lot of the songs that didn't make singles were like some of their best hits.
Yeah.
So so that was sad. She was our age. She was only 43. So
yeah,
that took me out when I heard about that.
People our age
I know. And and I mean it's like period, but especially like when you hear from like some kind of disease or whatever, it's just so
and it made me every time I see a picture of her, I'd be like, she is the prototype for every woman that Ray J loved.
They got into that too. Yep.
The background. Like she was Ray J's first kind of girlfriend.
Yeah.
And they were dating for years.
I think she said like 8 years.
And then if you see Tierra Marie
Mhm.
and then you see Princess, it's
Yeah.
like they triplets if you line them up.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of people were saying that, like, that they all
Yeah,
have that same
they
look.
triplets.
Yeah.
It's from
Uh-huh.
her. It's from Irish
Yep.
because that's who he was in love with. And
Mhm.
Princess and Irish really look alike.
They do. And you know who else they were saying that looks like Irish? Halle Bailey. And I looked at it and
Oh,
I can see it.
yeah, she
Like
does. Her
she does.
eyes are a little different, but she
Mhm. I can
does.
see the resemblance. Yeah, but Ray J's women, yeah, they all have that
I can
same.
tell you this, and really, Little Kim pre-surgery too,
Mhm. Had that
because
same
they
look.
all have that girl next door, like
Mhm.
kind of young, fresh look.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, that Ray
That
J, he was in love with Irish.
Oh my god, he messed that up big time. But they were they were young, but they were
They were
together for
young,
so
and then he
long.
started really getting some fame and popularity,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and the hoes was really on him.
Oh yeah.
So
So,
it was over after that.
yeah. But that was sad, still sad. And then of course, Diane Feinstein or Feinstein. I never know how to because I know like you could say it either way but I don't know how she pronounced it. But yeah,
I
she
feel like
passed
everybody in
away.
charge of her should go to jail. Whoever was in charge should go to jail because y'all
I
telling me
mean,
that y'all pushed that lady into that place on till she died.
basically,
I don't aspire for any of you to go to work in a wheelchair.
no. I don't care what you
That's
do.
not the goal.
Mm-mm.
It's not the goal.
No. She was
I
90
don't want to
years
hear nothing
old.
about social justice. I don't
Uh-uh.
want to hear nothing about being a fighter for what's right. I don't want to hear none of that. Everybody deserves a rest after
Mhm.
years of service and work.
Mhm.
Everybody.
Yeah.
It wasn't cool for y'all to do that to her.
No, cuz she didn't even know where she was at.
She didn't know what she was doing.
So Yeah, that was
They
sad.
were voting a simple yay or nay, and she busted out a whole piece of paper and started reading a speech. That boy leaned over and said, "Ma'am, you're just supposed to be voting." She said, "Oh,
Yeah.
okay, no."
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, and the sad thing is like when you see people like her go out like that because she was such a trailblazer and she did so much in not only politics but like law,
Right.
and so to see her
You
go out
focus
like
on
that.
the
Yeah,
end instead of
exactly.
like thinking about all the great things that the person did. You're just like,
Right.
what's happening right now? What is
Yeah.
happening?
Because especially with the way politics is nowadays, that's all you focused on was the negative. So you saw her, like you said,
Mhm.
reading a whole speech, getting ready to read a whole speech and
Because
just
these
a
people
regular
only
vote.
focus on negative stuff.
Exactly. Right. Right. Right.
But
So
you know what it really made me think about?
what's
I was
that?
thinking about this early this morning too, because I was trying to like, okay, I don't have a list of what we're gonna talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she came to my mind, what it really made me think about is I believe even Democratic politicians are afraid of what's coming behind them.
Oh yeah.
I believe they hold their positions in their seats so
Mm-hmm.
long.
Yeah, we talked
Because
about
let's
that
be
with Ruth
honest.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We talked about that. She died on the bench.
But
So
let's be honest,
mm-hmm.
everybody's conservative
Oh
on both
yeah.
sides of the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
Even we are conservative.
Oh
Like
yeah.
everybody has a level of conservative player inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
These younger people in their 20s and their 30s, their early 30s, they know no, they don't know what conservative is.
Oh no.
They
Uh-uh.
what did he say on Holiday Heart? They just let it all hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Democrats fight for the rights of the disenfranchised and they fight for the rights of the lesser or whatever you want to call it of society,
Mm-hmm.
even though they do that, they still are afraid of giving too much rope.
Oh yeah.
Like they don't want to give too much
Mm-hmm.
because what we know now, what young people don't see, and what the people in their 20s who are coming up, what you don't see is that you're moving into anarchy.
Yeah,
Like, this is turning into
it
chaos.
is. I mean,
If
when
there's not some level of, I don't want to say it, control. Yeah,
yeah, it's
control. If
control.
there's not some level of control,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a shit show in
Yeah.
10 years.
I mean, because look, I mean, my grandma and I were talking about this. I think just yesterday or the day before, but they're just so I mean, they're not politicking. They're so focused on impeaching Biden and and they're
Mhm,
focusing on his son.
mhm,
And it's just like that's not what we got
mhm,
going on here. Who gives a shit about
mhm.
what, it's just like it's so out of control. And that's why
And so, okay, you're talking about the people who are in right now.
mhm.
So what I'm thinking about is like the people who are like to come.
Mhm.
Who's gonna replace these people?
Right.
The young people who we see on the streets, and even the Democrats,
Mhm.
is so they are so unconventional.
Yeah.
Um, I would be afraid. It's going to come to a point where secretly everybody gonna be voting Republican soon.
And see, and here's
If Democrats don't get that through their head,
mhm.
and if you continue to, I, I hate to say, if you continue to give it over to non-conventional candidates and non-conventional politicians,
Mhm.
you're going to silently lose all the Democrats
Mhm.
because nobody's going to talk about it.
No.
Nobody is going to walk around with a t-shirt on like, oh, I don't vote Democrat anymore. People
Mhm.
are going to just be secretly and silently
Mhm.
voting for the conservative party
Mm. And
because it's out of control
it
at this point.
is. And see, and the thing is, like, there's division in between both parties. Like for
Yeah.
the Democrats, for example, you got progressives, and then you got I can't think of what the other name they call it, but basically
Mm,
like the conservative Democrats, we'll just
right.
say that. And then even on the Republican side, they got the extremists, and then they got the quote unquote regular Republicans, I guess you could say, the
Right.
regular conservatives, but they
Which
stick
are technically
together.
probably would be considered Democrats.
Exactly.
The Republicans, they're Democrats.
Yeah, but Republicans, they'll stick together more in their voting and
Oh, absolutely,
they
they
put it
will.
to the side more. The Democrats, you can see
I
the
mean, look at
infighting
what just
more.
happened.
Mhm.
McCarthy came with a bill.
Yeah.
They came with the resolution for the budget. The
Mhm.
ultra conservatives were like, hell no,
Mhm.
we're not budging.
Right.
Now, I heard a little birdie, through the grapevine say that their real leader, Donald Trump, told them don't bend.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally
Now, that's
believe
what the
that.
streets are saying.
Mhm.
The streets are saying that the head honcho told them,
You
stick to
better
your
not.
guns. Don't
Right.
reach the resolution, let them fall apart.
Because if y'all didn't think that that man is still trying to run that party, or not trying to, he is still running that party. He is.
That's what they saying. They saying he told them, stick to
Girl.
your guns.
Yeah, and they are.
Don't let them get away with that.
Anything to keep that power, and that they're going to do it. It doesn't matter if they
Yep.
agree with it or not. They're going to do it.
So
So, and
we
then
shall see.
yeah, and lastly for this is kind of like good news, but we saw it coming. But they made an arrest in Tupac's 1996 murder. And we talked about this not too long ago when the story
Yeah, we
first
did.
developed. And yes, it
Mhm.
is that I can't think of I didn't write down his full name, but everybody knows him by Keefe D. And
Mm.
this man, he's been on like all the documentaries about the murder and everything like that. And it's always that person who is right there.
Mhm.
It's always the person who is right under your nose is the one that you're looking for.
Mhm.
And so finally, and Tupac's blood brother and blood sister both made statements, about the arrest, and basically to sum up both of their statements, they pretty much just said, yeah, we knew all this time,
Right. That it was him.
yeah, that it was him, and Pretty much, I think it was the brother who basically said that law enforcement basically dropped the ball plenty of times. He didn't say it in those words, but he let it be
The police
known.
officer act like he was about to cry.
Yeah.
Like he was so happy, like he was about to cry.
Mhm.
I said, he know a real nigga when he see one.
Listen, okay, because he was right there with us when Pac died, so
Yeah,
he
I'm
knew.
thinking like, oh yeah, he probably emotional because he was probably our age. Like he
Yeah,
looked
when
like
it
he was the
happened.
same age as us.
Mhm.
So he was probably in the thick of it when it happened.
Right. So, as more information develops, of course, we'll talk about that later on. But I just wanted to put that out there because that just happened yesterday. So, but okay, so let's get into where should we start, girl?
Tyler Perry.
So,
Tyler Perry.
okay, let's go with Tyler Perry. So you go ahead and take the lead on this one because I know you got more opinions about what was said and all that stuff. So,
So, hi people. Um,
now y'all know it's about to go down.
I always gotta start with I love y'all, right? But
Right.
okay, so Tyler Perry. I see that people are still discussing this.
Mhm.
So and we all know that Tyler Perry went on a podcast with the girl from Sisters, with the girl from Zach and Fatima. You
Mhm.
know, the show Fatima.
Yeah, I
Is that
think
the
that's
real name of the
I
show, Fatima?
I don't
I
know. I
think
don't know what
it is.
it might be. Yeah, if it might be, but I don't
I think
know.
it is. I don't watch it, but I
Mhm.
know that I used to love Sisters. I still do, but it just, some parts of it get on my nerve.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, he made a statement, and basically he was saying, like, ladies, if you meet a man, the man might not make as much money as you do. He might not can't pay every single bill in your house. But if you meet a good man, who is doing all the things emotionally, he's supportive, he's doing all the stuff, but all he can pay is the light bill, you still should give that man a chance. I love that man.
Mhm.
So here come the black women. Now at this point, they finna call me a pick me. I think that's what they about to call me because I hear them refer to women. I hear them say that. Um, they're crazy, but okay. Now, so me, I'm a person who deals in numbers,
Right.
and I'm a person who's going to be honest with you, and we're going to look at this realistically and factually.
Mhm.
The statement that man is making is 100% true,
Mhm.
and Uh, and let me tell you why it's true. Let's start from the beginning. I have a friend who, many moons ago, was going through a divorce, who had a husband who made six figures. And I'm talking about good six figures, 250, on a good year, 235, so he made a decent salary.
Mhm.
Well, then she goes through a divorce and she's in the dating realm and she's like, oh, he only make $16 an hour. This dude, he make 19. That ain't no money. And I had to tell her, I said, now let me tell you something. What I don't think you know is, and what a lot of black women don't understand, is that the average man only makes $37,500. And the
Mhm.
only reason I knew this is because I saw a video somewhere else way before Tyler Perry made this statement,
Mhm.
and women were complaining about men's salary.
Mhm.
And I think women forget that, like, black women may be making a lot of money, black women may be super educated, but that ain't trickle down over to the man,
Mhm.
necessarily.
Mhm.
You don't realize that that is the average salary, and that is the average salary for a man.
Right.
So, like I said, I deal in numbers. So let me get the numbers out for you, baby.
Mhm.
So now I am 43. So I'm going to tell you the age group. First of all, the average black man. How many black men are making over $100,000? 8%.
Mm.
I am 43.
Wow.
Between the ages of 40 and 49, men's earning. White men are making $71,000. That is the average earning
Mm.
of a white man between 40 and 49. Black men are making $51,000 between 40 and 49.
Mhm.
Maybe you want you an old man between 50 and 59. The average earning drops to $47,100. What he said is not wrong.
Mm-mm.
And then this goes for women who want to date black men. Because you may want the one that makes 70,000 because that man
Mhm.
white.
Mhm.
You might want him. Now, what we talking about younger, between 30 and 39, because y'all still like young boys.
Right.
A white boy making 60,300, black 41,600. The numbers don't lie, y'all.
No.
He did not tell you a lie.
Mm-mm. And you know what? And just because I like when you first sent me that clip and I read it, I got kind of irritated because I went in that mindset like sometimes it's the messenger.
That's
And I
look,
think
and
that's where people were getting and I'm not going to lie, I got into that at first and then when I sat back and I watched it again, I got it.
the old folks used to tell us in church, you eat the meat and throw the bone away.
Okay.
You don't worry about who said it.
Mhm.
Worry about is what they said true.
Yeah.
What that man said is true. And
Mhm.
something else that I don't think a lot of you are thinking about, baby, a lot of black men ain't free.
Mhm.
And when I say free, I mean unincarcerated.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of stuff going against you. And you got to say, is this a good man?
Mhm.
Am I going to just, because sometimes providing and protecting ain't got nothing to do with money.
Yeah, thank you.
And stop talking to, but, and let me tell you something else. There are a lot of women who make good money
Mhm.
and they man make less money than them. But see, where y'all mess up is y'all want to tell everything. You
Yeah,
want to be
that
in a
part.
relationship with a man so you can show everything that he do for you.
Mhm.
That's y'all the ones who really want the men to make all the money.
Yeah, cuz you want to be
Cause
like,
you
"Oh, my
want to
man took me here. He bought me this." Everything turns into
you want to stop.
materialism.
You want to
Mhm.
stop. Like that's what y'all's goal is.
Yeah.
So when you wanna have something to show off. If a man making $40,000 and you make $100,000, you don't feel like I can't tote that around.
Mm-mm.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
I made a choice a long time ago that my money is not a factor in a relationship.
You know what?
I'm
And
gonna
sadly,
live
it can't
under the
really
roof
be.
that you can provide for me.
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer in that. What
Yeah.
can your money get us?
Mhm.
Because my money is just extra.
Right.
But what can your money do?
Mhm.
Because eventually, if we living under the same roof and we're married, please jot this down, Nia Long, because my mind gonna leave me. If we're living under the same roof and we're married, everybody money anyway.
Mhm.
So why does it make a difference? I had someone during this conversation, about Tyler Perry tell me I didn't think he said anything wrong. And
Mhm.
this particular woman said that she dated a man who used to give her just so much stuff, material stuff,
Yeah.
bought her everything, but she never showcased it. He bought her stuff, and it was between her and him. Her
Mhm.
friends would say to her, "Girl, why you ain't posting that?
Uh,
You should be posting that." She was like, "For what?" Shoot, it couldn't be me, cause I be posting that shit. She was like, "Who am I showing it off for?" She's like,
right.
"What are we doing? Are we in high school?"
Thank you. Thank
These
you.
people's minds are still in high school.
Mhm.
And
That's
that's
true.
another problem.
Yeah.
It's the maturity level.
Mhm.
Like people are very immature.
Yeah.
Providing and protecting is not always about money. Do
Mhm.
you provide emotional safety?
Right.
Do you provide emotional security? And truthfully, that's worth more than money in this day and time.
Mhm.
If we really being honest, women is tired.
Yeah.
Women is tired as hell emotionally. Women is exhausted. If you provide emotional support to the woman you in a relationship with, hey, that's the key right there.
Mhm. But that just proves that some people aren't worried about that. It's what you can do for and I'm not going to say that you thinking in a relationship, what can you do for me? I'm not saying that that's not a bad thing because yeah, you should be
Right,
looking, at that, but when it comes to the part where you're just strictly focused on what can you what can you buy me? Maybe I should say
right,
that. And when I say what can you provide me with, not can what you can provide for me, but what can you
right,
provide me with? That's a difference.
right.
So yeah, it's and it reminds me about like some of these memes that go around, and it's like a plate of food, and it's something that your mom would have made you for dinner throughout a school week. You know what I'm saying? Like spaghetti dinner or chicken wings, something
Right,
like that.
right,
And it's a woman who posts a plate, and she'll say, this nigga made this for me. Like I wanted to go out to eat, or not go out to eat, but like I wanted, a nice dinner at home, and he makes this. So it's like a basic meal. And she talks about like she's going to break up with him because of that. And people, go in on the comments. Some people of course are like, "Yeah, girl, he should have been making you a steak and all this other stuff." What if he didn't have steak money?
mhm.
It's the thought that counts, and the
We don't
thing.
operate off of that anymore. People
No.
don't operate off of that.
And that's the point of those
Because
posts.
because of social media, we believe everything has to be a grand gesture.
Mhm.
Gesture, excuse me. They don't believe in that anymore.
Yeah. It's
They have
sad.
forgot from whence we came,
Yeah. Yep, and it's the
you
same
know.
thing. Yeah, it's just so don't get caught up in the presentation. And that's the same thing like where I got caught up in the messenger and who was saying it because, I like Tyler Perry, but
Mhm.
it's just like and then like I think I replied back to you like Tyler Perry and Steve Harvey both say and do some
Yeah, you did say that.
problematic stuff. Yeah, but then when I went back and looked at it, I was like, that's not what he was talking about.
Right.
And I was coming from the mindset of like they're always trying to tell women what they need to do and but who else are we going to listen to?
Exactly.
So yeah, so it's just like
And
yeah.
this is a man who's reared by a woman,
Mhm.
by multiple women. So
Yeah.
he's watched how women have been treated good and he's watched women be treated bad.
Right.
So he's speaking from a place of he's seen what's important to women.
Mhm.
And I think we think, it's just like the whole thing with Oprah and The Rock.
Mhm.
And people are like, "Oh, I know these millionaires are not telling us to donate." Well, baby, they're not talking to you because you're poor. But do y'all realize that they're not the only rich people in the world? There
Right.
are other people in this world who are millionaires
Mhm.
who
Then
could hear her as a millionaire say donate,
right.
and they know they can trust that donation pot. Like,
Mhm.
oh, so this is the place where I can give my money to.
Right. They're not specifically talking to you, baby. So, yeah.
No, like what is
Mhm.
wrong with y'all?
And it's
When
like
I
if
heard people complaining, it was like, so do y'all not know that other millionaires exist in this world?
right.
What made you think that she was talking to your poor ass?
Mhm.
See, but that's people's mindset.
Oh yeah.
People be ready to attack.
Mhm.
Again, eat the meat, throw the bone away.
Yeah.
Expand your mind, like think critically, like that boy said. Use are y'all pelican brain bitches dumb? Like use your critical thinking skills. What is wrong with y'all?
Not the
Y'all
critical
get up
thinking
here and
skills.
scream about the craziest stuff like, "Baby, did you think about that before you said it?"
Yeah, just something just to complain about, and
And narcissism is so heavy.
oh my
I heard
gosh.
somebody say, "We have created a society, like social media has created a society of narcissists.
Oh yeah.
Everything has to be about like, oh, was he talking about me? Was that about me?
Yep.
Oh, why y'all you always ganging up on me? Oh, see, just like with the donation.
Mm-hmm.
Why would they ask us to donate? What made you feel like they were talking to you?
Right.
Why did you believe that they wanted money from you and you're poor?
Mm-hmm. People don't think about
The
that.
very fact that you should have thought to yourself, I ain't got no money, they not talking to poor people.
Right.
That would have had to be a thought that crossed your mind.
Yeah.
But no, because in your brain, you're so important. I used to say this years ago. You too important in your own mind.
Yeah, girl, that's it. And there are so many people that are like that. Oh my goodness.
Like, what is wrong?
Like, don't take everything
Oh, now Nia
personal.
Long.
Oh yeah, let's go there
I
before we
know I just
forget.
threw this on you.
No, no, no. Well, I think we talked about it briefly. I think you sent me something about what was said, but go ahead.
Okay, so and I had this disagreement with my own mother.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord gave me a revelation yesterday because I saw again where she was on some podcast
Mm-hmm.
doing some interview and she brought the lady's name up who he was cheating with.
Right.
And Stephen A. Smith was even saying that the Celtics organization owes her an apology.
Mm-hmm.
Because did anybody even think about the sister? You know, that's what Stephen A. Smith said.
Right.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. But let's talk about society that we live in, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, as a person who in February will be in a non-matrimonial relationship, it will be 11 years that I have been with the same man.
Mm-hmm.
So, we live in a society that does not respect relationships that are not contracted through a marriage.
Right.
Let's just be honest about that. If you are not married, your relationship is not valid to society.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it not valid to society, no one else values it if it's not a marriage.
Oh yeah.
Oprah and Stedman have been together for over 30 years, if I'm not mistaken. People still can't believe she been with that man all them years. They ain't even married. Still, we ain't heard a cheating scandal.
Nothing.
We ain't heard a rumor. But because it has not been formed in a contract, people don't find it valid. A few months ago, my own mother said to me, y'all been together long enough, y'all need to go ahead and get married.
Why?
Ain't had a cheating scandal. Like, in my own personal relationship, knock on wood, because I don't want to go to jail. So, you know, ain't had no issue like, and he'll tell me in a minute, you be talking outside of the relationship. I'm probably the one that's going to be quick to run. He's like, no, we in this.
Right.
You know, but people don't respect relationships that are not contracted
Mm-hmm.
through a marriage.
Right.
And I say that to say, we're talking about a boyfriend and a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why she doesn't get that through her head.
Right.
But society does not respect your relationship like that, Nia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I wish you would stop talking about it because that's the fact that you, being intelligent, have not connected the dots. They don't feel like they owed you anything because you were not his wife.
Right. You were the girlfriend. Let's keep it real.
You were his baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
And truthfully, he owes you an apology.
Yeah, he's the only one that owes you the
Whenever he released his statement, he owed you a public apology.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the Celtics are going to do is this. Call him in the office. We are aware of the relationship between you and Kathleen. I think that was her name. Between you and her. So we're going to make a statement that you are terminated as of whatever date. We're giving you 2 days. We're giving you 2 days to go and make it right with your family.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Yep.
It was not their responsibility to call you in. I don't care how many times they let you sit in the owner's box.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care how many times they let you sit with the wives. You ain't no wife.
Right.
And I don't know why that's hard for you and why you keep running around feeling like the Celtics owed you something. They didn't owe you anything more than what they gave you.
Mm-mm. You just may have got
And
a
as
little
a
bit more
black
shine.
woman,
Go ahead.
as a black woman, you really know better than that.
Mm-hmm. And see, that's where that celebrity comes in, because you may have got a little bit more shine, not just because you were the head coach's, woman, but because you're Nia Long,
Exactly. And
So
honestly, you made him shine. He didn't do shit for you.
nobody even knew who he was, and it's not taken away from anything from him, because obviously he wasn't a huge player, but he's obviously a great coach, to be coaching on that level. But still, people
Nobody
didn't
knew
know.
him.
Yeah, nobody knew him. Let's keep it
When you
real.
had that baby, we was like, Emil Doka,
Yeah,
who the
who is
fuck?
that?
We had to go look him up.
Like he was a basketball player. He played for the
He was like,
Spurs.
oh,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was like
he fine,
right,
but I don't know who
but
he is.
yeah,
He
don't
cute
know who
though.
he is.
So
Yeah,
go, girl. I mean, we didn't know him.
right.
You know,
Yeah,
child, listen, you just got egg on your face like every other woman.
right.
Just let it go and quit talking about that lady.
Yeah,
Quit
quit.
talking about it.
And if not just for just period, but for your son, because he's old enough and he's here. And I'm not talking about the oldest son, because that's by a different man. I'm talking about the son
Right,
that you
right.
had with Ime or Ime, whatever his name is. I mean, because he's hearing everything, and he knows what's going on. So just
Yeah.
just let. I mean, we
Let's
know
take
you're
a chill
hurt. We know
pill.
it's the embarrassment. That's what it is, and we
But I
get it.
really wanted to bring up that point about the marriage
Mm-hmm.
because I think we're not having that discussion
Yeah.
that in this country and this society we don't value. Listen again. I've been in a relationship for over 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and it will get less respect from than a couple that has
Mm-hmm.
been together a year and been riddled with cheating and fighting and but
Yeah.
because they married,
Because they married.
their relationship will seem more valid
Mm-hmm.
than my relationship,
Oh
and it's
yeah.
just been us.
And we've seen it, because I remember, like, this is a while ago, but back in my trolling days on, when I used to just post shit just to get the ruffle the feathers. I remember one time I posted something on Facebook, and I think it was like maybe we were watching a reality show, because you know how we all used to watch the
Mhm.
shows and comment
Oh
together and
yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And something happened, and I don't think that the couple that was the center of what we were talking about was actually married, but they were together for a long time.
Right.
And I said something like, I would take, and this is years ago, so this isn't verbatim, but I said something on the order of, I would take someone who has been in a relationship for a long time, for years. This, like I would take their advice, the same as I would take a married couple. And of course, it was something like that. That might not make any sense,
Right.
but you know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying. So someone commented, and we both know who this person is. Someone comment. I'll tell you who it is later. They
Okay.
they commented, and they got real pissed because this person is married and throws their marriage in our face all the
Oh, I
time.
know who it is.
Yeah,
I know who it is.
and basically was just like, well, I'm not taking the advice from anyone who isn't, technically married or something like that. And I,
I know it.
me, and I
Because
went,
I can feel it.
mm,
Oh Jesus, the spirit, I feel it on me, Lord. I know exactly
yeah,
who said this.
uh-huh. And I was just like, well, what's the difference? I said, besides a piece of paper. I said, if I was with somebody for a long time, and we just weren't married, I said, we have been through the same thing that, you have been through, but
Exactly.
we just, didn't stand before God. We just didn't, we didn't sign on a dotted line that we are married, but we have everything else.
And the God commitment is no less
Girl,
in a relationship than it is in a marriage.
listen, that right there.
I don't want people to get that
Yeah,
twisted.
so
I
I
really
shouldn't have
want
said
people
it
to
that
go
way,
back
but
and search, you know, marriages. And how did y'all think they was getting married in the Bible and stuff like that? Like,
listen, I mean, do you think that they went, and got their little white dresses and everything, and
no,
just
I just really want y'all to really, and I'm not saying, I'm not saying this to make my relationship or
oh
my
no, no,
non-marital
no.
relationship any more valid, but I'm just saying y'all need to start respecting people's relationship because there's people out here who are not legally married
Mm-hmm.
who are more in love than y'all and y'all is married And what I
Right.
think y'all really believe is that because you're legally married, that the legality makes people want to stay and fight. Well,
Mm-hmm.
sir, I would like to tell you something. If the government ties that this marriage has is what makes you want to stick it out with me,
Mm-hmm.
get the fuck
If
on.
that's it, yeah.
And I ain't said the F word in a long time on
Mm-hmm.
here.
But you mean
So
it.
I want you to get the fuck on,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because don't be running around here acting like you love me and you sticking it out with me because we are legally married.
Right.
Now we can get legally divorced.
Right.
And that's what y'all really is running around here thinking and saying. Y'all think because, oh well, we in this, honey. And you know how many ID specials I have watched of men killing their wives and women killing their husbands because they want your insurance money, but they don't want to divorce you.
Yeah, that happens. Oh my gosh. That's like a
That was the 2020 last night. The season premiere
yeah,
of 2020 came on,
it sure
and I have
was.
seen that story on ID already. So I knew I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this about to be good.
Millions of times.
She done got back with her high school boyfriend. They literally communicated 500 times a day. Through email, text, and phone call, they were communicating 500 times in one day.
Mm-hmm.
They came up with a plan. Well, excuse me. She came up with a plan to kill her husband because she didn't want to be married to him no more. So she lied to her high school boyfriend and told him that her husband was beating her ass.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he do? Drove from Tennessee to Texas and shot that man.
Mm-hmm. Just because you didn't want to get a divorce.
So don't come up in here acting like your marriage is so superior.
Mm-hmm.
And especially whoever made that comment.
Because we
Because
know.
the way I see y'all's husbands speak about women in these comments on social media,
Mm-hmm.
baby, I wouldn't want nobody to know. I would tell people I was married to a dog before I said I was married to that man.
Right.
Because y'all
Child.
husbands is downright disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all laugh because y'all like, oh, he ain't talking about me.
Right.
Oh, I don't look like the person that he's talking about, or I'm not that skin color, or I'm
Mm-hmm.
not that size. Makes it worse.
Right.
Makes it worse.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you just as terrible a person as him, which tells me why the two of you is linked together.
That right there makes perfect
I mean,
sense when you see
it's
it.
shameful.
Mm-hmm.
The
It
shit that
really
these
is.
men that y'all be fighting and screaming about and be defending, the shit that they be saying about women in these comments are sickening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say nothing, no. I just be like, oh, that's her king.
Yeah, mental note. Like, okay.
That's your king.
Mm-hmm.
I be unfriending y'all though. Real talk. I ain't gonna even hold you. I be unfriending y'all.
Right. Some shit that your husband said that you co-signed because we know you
I'll
because we
be
know
like,
y'all
oh
talk about
yeah, I'm
it.
out of
So
here.
yeah.
This just ain't where I'm going into
Mm-mm.
my. I'll be 44. I don't want this in 45 years of life. I don't want
No.
that in my
No.
presence. So I just be unfriending y'all because
That's
it'd be
it.
sick.
Yeah,
It'd be sickening.
cause y'all ain't getting any better, so it just might as
No,
well.
no.
Mm-mm.
Y'all really think that stuff is cool, and it's like,
Yeah, and because my
and you know
husband
what
said it
makes
is
me
cute.
even more sick?
What?
And we have said this, y'all be raising daughters.
That right there. That would
Honey,
really.
that's what takes me out the game every
Mm-hmm.
time. And we sit and we talk about kids and how
Mm-hmm.
kids act and how kids be acting out at school. Look at the shit that they going through at home.
Oh, I was done with that person and some others like around the time. This was before R. Kelly was actually arrested, but he had an album that came out, and I will never forget this. He had an album that came out. It may have been his last studio released album.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, something like, people were asking me if I bought it, or if I listened to it. And I said, no, because, I don't support him or whatever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And no, I said I wouldn't go to buy it. I didn't say I didn't
Right.
listen to it, but I said I wouldn't buy it. That's what it was.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And people were coming in the comments talking about, oh, y'all need to leave R. Kelly alone. And these are women These were all women, and
Mhm.
some of them had daughters. And they were talking
Mhm.
about how, oh, it ain't that big of a deal because, when we were in high school, we dated older men and everything like that. And I was just like, wow. I was just sitting there and these people still, I don't forget who commented on shit like that because I kept that mental note and I was just like, wow. So I mean, you just didn't have, you
So
just,
there's a difference between dating
mm-hmm.
and being 14 to my
Yeah.
my eyes,
Thank you.
When
So
you're 13 and 14,
you weren't dating that man that was older than you. Y'all weren't dating.
no,
You
no,
may have
baby.
thought, and if you still think that to this day, yeah, you got some issues. So it's the
Yeah,
same thing. It's just like, there are and we talk about women all the time because we're women and we see
right.
things, so but
And we expect more of us.
thank you. That's
Like,
what I was
you
just getting
see,
ready to say that.
women are so used to bashing men
Mhm.
and putting responsibilities of living on men. But listen, we got to be accountable to us.
Mhm.
See, because I'm a firm believer that honestly, yes, do I have a problem with the way men carry on themselves on podcasts? I absolutely
Oh
do.
yeah.
But I'm also a big believer that men need to check other men.
Mhm.
I don't really want to hear what they got to say. So what do I do? And I do this to all people, I ignore them.
Mhm. Exactly.
But what I will never do is not hold women accountable.
Mhm.
We got to be accountable to us because what we're doing now is we're living in a society where everybody's pointing the finger at everybody else except themselves.
Mhm.
And at some point, ladies, we've got to look at us
Yeah.
and say, how is the behavior that I'm exhibiting contributing to the problem?
Mhm.
So, what you doing to contribute to the problem? But see, a lot of people don't want to ask themselves that.
Mm-mm. It's taking accountability, girl. Ain't nobody doing that.
No, nobody wants to do that.
Mm-mm.
And it's weird to me because honestly, especially us 80s babies,
Mm-hmm.
we grew up in a whole accountability. All we did was get on punishment for shit we did.
Listen, that was it. It didn't matter what it was.
So the fact that y'all and the fact that us and the parents that raised us
Mm-hmm.
are walking around not being accountable, that shit is weird. Because number one, y'all beat the shit out of us to be accountable.
Right.
And now to see us, the generation of 40s, not raising our kids with accountability.
Mm-hmm. It's everybody else's
So in
fault.
turn, your grandkids ain't got no accountability. You letting
Mm-hmm.
your grandkids cuss and slam stuff down and you laughing at the shit. What is happening out here? It was like we overly got our ass beat, so then we just stopped beating our kids' ass altogether.
Mm-hmm.
We stopped any form of punishment. We don't even take phones.
Right.
I had somebody tell me, since they can't, I don't know why they can't, but they don't take their daughter's phone from them.
Mm-hmm.
So because they don't take her phone, what they do is they unplug the Wi-Fi. The girl got so mad that her mama unplugged the Wi-Fi, she ran away. She left. She snuck out, and she ain't been back.
I
I
mean,
mean, this kind of crazy shit.
yeah.
This crazy.
It really is. I mean, wow.
This is insanity, and that's why earlier I said, in 10 years we're gonna be in anarchy.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we're just creating a society of, even with the and I don't know the exact terms, but with the transgender rights for allowing kids to be 12 and 13 and switch their gender without
Mm-hmm.
their parents' permission.
Yeah. Now that's too
So I'm
far.
looking at this in a bigger scope. That means that eventually you're gonna be telling kids they can do a lot of other stuff without their
Oh
parents'
yeah.
permission.
Mm-hmm.
So what's gonna be the purpose of parents even raising kids?
I mean, yeah,
If,
because it's
if they can
basically
live
not
under your
having.
roof and make decisions for themselves and not listen to what you say to them as a parent,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't even talking about the transgender thing because my mind immediately start flipping to other stuff.
Right.
This is just a gateway to, like, what else are they gonna be allowed to do?
And maybe that's one of the reasons why, and I'm not making excuses. I know there are some soft ass parents out here and some that just don't give a damn, but maybe that is a reason why some parents are kind of like, backing off of things because they don't know they don't know how to parent because they're.
Because this same lady who I'm telling you, she unplugged the Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
A week ago, her and her daughter got in a fist fight. She takes her downtown. They tell her it ain't nothing we can do. Just like the lady, somebody from Columbus sent me a clip of the lady on the news saying that I don't know if it was a son or a daughter, but she wanted the police to pick up her child. She said, arrest him. I'm begging you to arrest him. Because I can't control him. He keeps stealing cars. I can't remember if it was a girl or a boy.
I think it was a boy, yeah.
He keeps stealing cars. He keeps breaking the law. When I ask for help, I'm not going to take him to jail. She said they take him to jail and they let him go.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are people supposed to do? We have really created a society that the young people, that what that lady said on that panel at Black America, remember how they used to have them summits?
Oh, yeah.
What she said on that panel was so true. And now the kids ain't scared of nobody.
Oh, hell no. They have no fear. None for anything.
It makes me astonished to know we live in a world where kids are not afraid of their parents.
Right.
And I'm not talking about terror, but just the reverence that comes with fear.
There's no respect. Like my niece is 13 and she was talking to her dad one day and she was doing that clapping stuff like in between every word. I was like, what are we doing?
Girl, that child texted me and said, bro. And as fast as she said it, she sent another text and said, I didn't mean to say that to you. I said, because I was getting ready to ask you, who the fuck are you talking to?
That part right there. And that's exactly what I said to my niece. I was like, who the fuck are you clapping at?
Child, they gonna send you to jail.
They are.
Us, and that's probably why a lot of us don't beat our kids.
Right, because it would be bad.
We know the beatings we endured, and we know what's locked up in the vault. So we just be like, you better get away from me.
Yeah. Child.
She knows immediately because she be like, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, because she texted you right back. It was like, I did not mean to say.
I mean, it came so fast. It came, I didn't mean to say, bro.
Right. Because she probably knew. Because she knew you.
I blacked out. My eyes got to like fluttering in my head. Like, whoa.
Because she knew you were processing it and you were about to go off. So she was like, well, let me get this back.
She said, let me get this out immediately. I didn't mean to say, bro.
She probably voice text that baby because she was like, like, I can't even type this that quick.
Oh, child.
Oh, God.
They want you to go to prison.
They do.
Okay?
They don't give a shit. That's the thing.
They pray. Woo. But I pray for all parents out there.
Because we know it's not easy. We're not saying that. But it's rough. And it's just.
But you gotta make the hard decisions. You better make them.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Don't be playing with them.
No. Because they ain't worried about all that.
They get mad and run away. Let them run away.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Ohio is number 5 for traffic.
Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
So, don't keep thinking you're going to go outside. You ain't going to be able to come back inside.
Child, listen.
Y'all better stop playing with that.
Ooh, okay, so.
Well, child, we had a great talk. Yeah. And we did a great thing today. Came back to work fresh. We was on time.
Yeah. Oh, no, wait. We got one more real quick.
What?
Erica Mena.
Oh, so I thought it was, I wish we could share the clip.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was very telling that they had what she seemed to be a therapist come in and talk to the Black members of the cast. Well, you know what?
I can upload the clip. So let's talk about that next week and we'll play the clip.
Because we want to upload the clip and really
get into it. Yeah.
Into what he said and go back to, talk about the colorism aspect. And again, our responsibility in what she said.
Yeah.
Because we hold some responsibility in that. So, okay.
Yeah, so we'll do that. Yeah, so we're going to play the clip and we're going to take it from there because this is actually much deeper. And for those who don't know, just real quick, Erica Mena was confronted basically about what she said to what's the chick's name? Spice or whatever.
Spice.
Yeah. And she took no accountability, none. And she was very argumentative, and Yandy was like really just like letting her have it, and Erica
Yes,
just
and
what
I believe
it was.
Yandy, as a dark-skinned woman with dark-skinned daughters, she should have been
Yeah.
upset.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
Yeah. So
but
when
she's always treated Erica kind. She's always been a friend to her. Look at us going on. We're gonna stop.
yeah, we're gonna stop.
Okay.
We're gonna stop
You all
because
have a
yeah.
great week. You can reach us at girl_ you know what, at DannieBSpeaks, at Wellness and Women, and at the Pink Box TKB. We hope you have a prosperous week, a great week, and enjoy. Take some time to enjoy yourself. Take a break,
Yes.
because we're gonna take off anytime we get ready.
That part.
So we love you. Bye bye.
Bye everybody.